China. Because of the kind name we be say then they bear. For example, Wapching, Langtong, Wingting, names like that. And some of us, somebody be meet me say, go talk about this person. I could know whether this would really come from China, but far from it. We go hear where they come from, and they talk about people that we say come from the northern part of Obodo, Nigeria, not central to be precise. Talk about the Plateau State people, not just the Plateau State people. They talk about the people where we say they come from Lantang, and then this people where we say they come from Lantang. We go hear waiting the tribe with or the language where we say then they speak Gongon, their tribe Gongongong, because I hear say the place name be Lantang, but it get tribe where we say then they call them. Moko hear from you, Victor.
All right, thank you very much, Abuja. Thanks for joining us once again. Yeah. Today we'll be talking about people that are popularly known as Lantang. We always call them Lantang people, Lantang. But today we want to clarify people that there is no language called Lantang in Nigeria. Lantang is the name of a local government area in Plateau State, and the language they speak is called tarok. It's called tarok. Yeah. They call them the tarok people. The tarok people call themselves they are an agrarian society in the hill and in the plain southeast of Plateau State, just like Uncle AJ have said. Presently in Plateau State today, there are several villages there. They have their own indigenous kind of languages too, but mostly they speak this language called tarok. They are principally found in the Lantang North, Lantang South, and Wase area of the local government of Plateau State in central Nigeria. For those of you who are listening from other parts of the world, we're talking about Nigeria now. Of course, most of the history we give here is about our indigenous people, which is Nigeria. And the main town of Lantang is located about 186 kilometers southeast of Jos, which is in Plateau State. This is the state capital. They are also found in large numbers in Shendam, in Kwampang, in Kanam, in Panshin local government area, and some part of Tafa Balewa local government area of Bauchi State. For those of you who are conversant with Bauchi State, there's the local government they call the Tafa Balewa. We also have the Tarok people there.
And that Tafa Balewa, maybe one of these days go also check and make know that Tafa Balewa gets that place. Or maybe just because of the name or the name they exist before him, or na him because of an name the thing name the local government Tafa Balewa. Let's continue.
All right. So the Tarok people are scattered also in Nasarawa and Taraba states, and mostly farmers. The people have been described to some extent in anthropological and ethnographical works. These are people who study languages. There's a particular man who's called Roger Bench, and in 1995 he talked about these people. The Tarok is an amalgamation of various people who now form a more or less homogeneous group. There are different kind of people. Just like I was interviewing one of them, he told me that there are several villages that speak this language. They just brought all of them together, just like in Nigeria today we have Igbos, Yoruba, but we speak mostly the English language, unless mostly the Pidgin English. I think the Pidgin English is widely spoken compared to the normal.
Yeah, it's dominated. Yeah.
So that is how the Tarok language is when it comes to this. There are several villages there, comprising of these people. But everybody wants to speak that language. They say Lantang, Lantang, Lantang. It's not actually Lantang language. It's actually Tarok language. Now, an historian has it that the Tarok people actually originated from central and southern parts of the continent of Africa, the Central Africa, and the southern part, and before then they migrated from Yemen to Egypt, and before they now migrated back to this southern Africa.
You pass through any place like China
because of the way the language sounds, right? No. There's nothing like Chinese when it comes to history, except just that most time history used to lose some parts of some of those stories, except something has been missing. But it has been traced to Yemen to Egypt, and then Egypt to the middle and eastern part of Africa before they now migrated to this part of Nigeria. So as a result, because of the western migration route that developed, scholars have also postulated that the linguistic evidence linking the Tarok people to the western migration route, and the same time emphasizing a Niger Benue confluence origin and a Benue Congo language, thus challenging any Eastern and Chadian connection. So people who study language, were able. What that comment means is that people who study language were able to link these Tarok people to the Niger Benue and also the Benue Congo, language. That they have a nomenclature and classification of languages. So that is where they have classified them. And so some people came and challenged their linkage to Yemen and all that. But it has been also accepted that I think that is one of the most correct traces of the Tarok people. It is actually from the middle. Just like we keep saying, most of our history here is always connected to the Middle East.
So I think Nigeria as a whole. Yeah. I think if we trace our roots, now Middle East, because we don't trace the the major tribe for inside Nigeria, the Yoruba, the Igbo, the Hausa. We find out all of us from the Middle East. Now we from come. That's right. So something about we and the Middle East, where we say we go need to also check what thing happen, because I don't know.
What actually
not be by this is say all of us go from that side. Was there any like a communication amongst us there, because not be the same country? Some of us from Saudi Arabia, some of us from Israel, some of us now from Yemen. So was there like an information say, okay, make una follow this way, people from the middle come this way, before all of us we see ourselves inside the place today called Nigeria.
So just like you said, just in a little addition to what you said, yes, mostly history has been traced to the Middle East, because if we check it very well, life actually started around that place.
The Middle East.
Yes, before people started spreading to other parts of the world. But the people didn't just migrate once. They moved and they kept moving. Something must have been leading them. Sometimes war drove some people. Sometimes they're looking for land,
greener pasture. We don't grow.
Our family don't expand. For hunting, and they couldn't come back again. They'll start another family there.
Some of them go good tools from there.
Now you understand. Some people, for example, if Julius and I are brothers, I will now say, okay, let me go for fishing at River Benue. And because of the
River Benue no go there here.
I will
go there.
So while I'm going for fishing at River Benue, Julius will be going for hunting at Taraba. Or let me say Bauchi.
That don't go with that.
So we have got to come back will be a problem,
because there was no means of communication.
Transportation and communication was a problem. So that is why you see somebody will speak this language in this state, and that same language will be also in other states.
In another country.
In another country. Yes. So that was what actually,
because we even trace. Not forget, we also trace Baggy to Mali.
Yes. So some of this is because of the kind of migration and for them not being able to go back. Okay, just like we talked about the Kaba people, that they left Ile-Ife to come for hunting at Kaba. They couldn't go back again. And they now formed the Kaba, the Kaba community. So most times it was because of the means of transportation to go back. And most times when they get to an environment where they like, they just settle there, just take over the place.
Makes sense.
And that was how they were, people were living at that time. Now history indicates that the middle of the by the middle of the century, the Tarok, that is the 19th century, the Tarok race had already migrated from the Tal to the present. From Tal, there's a place called Tal, in case of people who are listening, in Plateau State. So they migrated from that place to the present-day Tarok land, where they now all of them gather and call it Tarok land. Now the migration was in three phases. The Zini clan went to Duse, Gazum. People who are in Jos, who are in the Plateau State will understand all these locations that I'm about to mention. Then the Namurang clan went to what is now known as the Kanam country, and the Gunu brought in Lantang what we call the CE, you know, and while the Barat and the Sa, you know, some of this language will sound strange. That was why AJ was asking if they came from from China and all that. Now the Barat and the Sa to the general area today known as the Tarok, you know, plain. Now the plain of Tarok later on migrated to Wase. Now the history also have it that the Tarok of Sada is SA, Dangal, Chui, and Singa had already spread to the plain before 1760, as far back as 1760. Now, when the Tarok left the TAL, the TAL that I talked about before, and arrived at Lantang, which people always call the place Lantang today, the Gunu established himself at the southwest end of Lantang Hill, while the Barat went to the northeast and settled, you know, below. You know, these people because they were mostly farmers and they just wanted a place where they will have you know a very good land for farming and all that. So once they get to places like that, they settle there and they will live there for a very long time. And some of them who were very few of them who were hunters, they will look for a hilly place or a mountainous place so that they can also, you know, hunt. Now, the Tarok mythology had earlier predicted that the arrival of the white men, you know, before the white men came, they have already been there. Now, on the arrival of the white men, they believed that the white men would not bring any harm but progress to them. So that was why when the white men came, the people who were there before these Tarok people came rejected the white men. But when the white men came, they were the ones, since they said they believe that these white men brought them, you know, good fortunes to them, and they were the first people who wholeheartedly accepted the white men, and yeah, you know, yeah, they didn't have a problem with them, and they were the people who even assisted the white men in building churches, building accommodations, and in Plateau State, the present day Plateau State. Now, since then, the relationship between the Tarok and the Western civilization had been growing from strength to strength. That is why we have a lot of them sons and daughters of the Tarok people in Nigerian politics.
You sure say
now?
I come before you go inside. Make I go back to the Tarok that is the Plateau State now. You just know being make their weather the day cold. When they accept Oyibo people, when I call it day chill. People they like. I don't know where understand because that place that time we say like snow even fall. For inside the Plateau State because of their temperature, they're very very cold. Sure, not because they accept.
No, the thing is that they actually migrated to that place. The place has been cold already. That's why they call it. It's a Plateau.
Plateau.
Yeah, that's why they're already cold. That's why they even call it Plateau State.
Okay, we'll check the meaning of Plateau also.
We all call it Plateau. The Plateau is the
okay, Plateau. Okay, Plateau no be their lang. Plateau na English word.
Yeah.
We could check the meaning of even that Plateau. But as you go, we could check the meaning of Plateau. Continue,
and history also had it that the Tarok people, you know, before they came to that place, they came as farmers. So they gave them that land and they farmed. And before you know, they settled in that place and became indigens, and they took over. They loved the place, and they stayed there, and they were okay. But when the white men now came, they were the first that accepted the white men. They helped, like we said, they helped build churches and all that, and they started going to school compared to even the people who were there. And that is why we have prominent Tarok people today in Nigerian military and government. People like Domkat Bali.
Domkat Bali.
You understand? The former military general. We have people like let me call the popular ones that people will know. People like Ben La. Yeah, he was the former House of Rep. We have Solomon La. We have Victor La. But they call it La
family.
No, we call it La. That name is actually La. Victor La.
Victor La. Solomon La.
Like we used to have
Solomon La way.
There was a footballer called Sampam.
Sampam.
Yeah, during the time of the Omokwachi time, he used to come from the bench. Sampam. The name is actually Pam, but then we were calling him Sampam.
Sampam. Yeah. That's why I know I could refer
to him. You know, the thing is short. Sampam. Sampam. Someone La. No La. No La.
We have people like Victor La.
Okay.
We have people like John Shagaya. You understand? We have people like Jeremiah Oseni.
Jeremiah
Yeah,
Oseni.
these are names, you know.
Go on, no did it. Continue.
So this, you know, for them to have, and I just mentioned few. There are a lot of prominent people in Nigerian government. The reason why they were, you know, they had this kind of people, a lot of them, you know, from the small, you know, a small community like that, but they have this kind of great people, you know, several of them in the military, in the politics. It was because they did not have a problem with the white men. They didn't fight the white men. They accepted them and started. They accepted their means of their way of living and their education, and they started going to school before even the people who owned the place. And before you know, they are now the ones ruling or in charge, or can I say, the politics and the administration of Plateau State. If care is not taken, is in the hands of the Tarok
Wait,
people.
at the common. When okay, because there's something beside the reason. That time we the white people
Mm.
before our independence, the rest of them
Mm.
where them in they stay where
Mm.
because blacks I found out say
They love
Plateau-
cold places now.
blacks Plateau now one of the major places will be say then stay apart from Lagos, apart from Cross River, that's apart from
Yes.
Calabar, and apart from Kogi.
Mm. See, the thing is that the white men did not actually look for a particular place. Okay, apart from the weather, which the Plateau is always cold, which is, you know, a little bit similar to their own kind of weather in Europe. But the thing is that they stayed in places that they were mostly accepted. Like when they went to the Igala, they rebelled against them. The Idoma rebelled against them. The Ibira rebelled the fought before they were later conquered. Now, but these people, these Tarok people, never fought them. They accepted them, even though the indigenous people who were there before the Tarok people came did not, you know, they had mixed feelings about the white men. But the Tarok people accepted them, and that was why they were the first people, you know, to start attending school, the white school and all that. And you can see today they are the one in charge of the government, especially when it comes to Plateau State. So you see them, you see most of them
So the Tarok people that then
they are high
opinion
as far as
leaders.
politics
Plateau
is
State,
concerned in
Plateau
Plateau
State.
State.
Okay.
They are ahead.
All right.
So I think time is fast spent, and that is the
All right. The little
the
of you
summary
talk now.
about
But somebody
Tarok
make I
people.
even tell you the meaning of plateau. Now area where we say then get that is fairly level high ground.
Yeah.
Fairly level high ground. The ground not too high where that kind of thing. Just the fairly high. I want to put up a question.
It's a plain land.
Land where they play with
plain.
Yeah.
When it's
When
flat.
they rocky,
Yeah,
you know they.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Chinese way them talk now. All right, time that we be so open the telephone line. Make we hear from you concerning the Tarok people. We be say we talk about in case you get anything we be say contrary concerning what we just talk, or in case you agree or you disagree, self, or you get any story we be say no be this one. Make we also hear from you. The number na 090-943-50415 or 08100-921-367. Good morning this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I agree to this morning. Your name and where you call us from?
I'm calling from Patrick in Samuel.
All right, we did hear you.
Yeah, my regard to Mr. King and the Ukraine program in Okudo.
All right, thank you very much.
The great all of Nigeria.
Thank you.
I appreciate your work. In fact, I'm very happy. Myself, I did get a man from Benefit. My main reason of calling not contain statistics, but about EDD. Because I need a contact from the king and how we can get to the place so that our children we know where EDD come from. We know the meaning of EDD answer. Because my grandfather told me that EDD Agba, Yekwara Agba, Yekwara is from not river, not EDD. How Yekwara Agba, how EDD Agba, how do we relate? I want Mr. King to do something about that so that we have a good place for them to know more.
Wait, you say
I think
Igede and
Igede and Bekwara.
Bekwara from Cross River State.
Yeah.
I thought we talked about this thing the other time. No?
No, I think the one we'll talk concerning Benue, that's Idoma and Yala
For Cross River.
for Cross
We
River.
talked about Igede.
No, but they added Bekwara.
And we talked about that. There are some of them in Cross River
And
State.
Cross River
Yes,
State,
yes,
but
Perhaps they are the Bekwara people.
right, maybe. So
Okay,
maybe
but since you want an insight into the relationship between the two Igede faction, not faction now, the communities. Anyway, we'll do a special order for you.
all right, no problem. We'll go maybe go touch light and make you know how the two relates. Good morning, this morning. Anima, where you call us from?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's Mama Francis talking from Nasarawa.
All right, Mama Francis, we hear you this morning.
Thank you for this historical breakdown. In fact, I will bother you by saying this. Please, there's no doubt that most of the African nations are from the Middle East, as you have rightly said. Now, I want you to do me a favor. This link of the Igbos and the Israeli nation. I want you to say something about this.
We'd already
We've
talked
talked
about
about
from
it
the
now.
Hebrew now.
The word Igbo comes from Hebrew.
Hebrew.
Hebrew. From
Hebrew people.
Hebrew people.
Hebrew
Hebrew
people,
before
yeah.
you started saying
It was
Igbo
corrupted
people.
to Igbo
Igbo
people.
people.
All right,
Broken down.
sit down, cut today. I go pick the last call inside this morning 090-9435-0415, 090-9435-0415, or 081-0092-1367, 081-0092-1367. Make we hear from the last person inside this morning. Hello, good morning. This morning, your name and why they call us. Oh, time don't already go. But let's go leave am here. Moko fit keep time for tomorrow because of time. Okay, make I just pick this one. We'll be sitting on the call since morning this morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, your name. I better reduce the volume of your radio set. Your name and where you call us from.
Yes, sir. I reduce the volume of my radio, sir.
Your name and where you call us
Yes.
from.
This is Mr. Gulo calling from Abaji.
All right, good luck with you.
I want to appreciate the good work you guys have been doing.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm from Lantang North. I'm a tarok by tribe. So I have really been dedicated this morning. And I want to find out something also. It's like we have something in common with the tribe. With this China. There are states that are called Nanchang in China. Nanjing, Nanyang, Nancher, and these are tarok names. So I don't know I want you people to do more research about it and then let us know.
All right.
It's like we have something in common with China people.
All right, thank you. Oh, so now that same thing what they talk about the names we be saying between them and the China. But sometimes it be even so there are some names we be say go mean A for year. If you go to another place, it go mean B.
Just like I said, what if they were brothers? This one migrated to Africa, the other one migrated to the.
And don't forget, say even Asia.
Yeah.
Now where it is?
In Middle East.
And China where it is?
In Asia.
Now still Asia.
Asia, yeah.
The Middle East where it is? Now still Asia. So all of us.
Yeah, we are interrelated.
Same
Perhaps
foundation.
it was one family. This one moved to this part, the other one moved to the other side. I know they have a community there, they have a community here.
Talking about
I hope you know there is a Yoruba community in Brazil.
Yes, Yoruba community
like
in
that.
Brazil. Yes.
Something like that.
And don't forget this is what they talk. Even USA what they talk. The main indigenous of the America what they talk.
Yeah.
Not be India.
Now red Indians.
Where they from?
And
Talking
that
as
is
someone, they say thank you for talking this morning. And thank you, and some Moko
Thank
meet
you,
again
Uncle
tomorrow.
AJ.
Until then, Moko enjoy the song from our tarot people. And they call this an Amro. They come. Don't go anywhere. That's still your family love station 104.5. Love FM.